Hello, my name is Tom. We are at Dad's Step Studios today, and I'm with a good friendly face to the channel. This is David Ker. David, say hello.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
I'm David Ker.
Yes.
Americano, living in Cape Town.
Okay, cool. David, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am a amateur musician, freelancing as a director of a nonprofit.
But, yeah, I got some questions for you.
It's just an expression of my identity. I can't not write songs. Did I say that? I can write. Yeah, I have to write songs. And partly it's poetry for me, expressing ideas, but writing a song is capturing some particular moment, like flip-flops, when I got my son a pair of flip-flops. And when I want to capture that moment, it comes out in song. And I think it's just a part of the way some people work. It's an artistic expression. Other people paint or draw or write novels. I always wanted to write novels, but God, there's so much work. It's so long, you know? You have to do so much typing.
Yeah,
but a song, it's 3 minutes, and it's fun. You can play it on your guitar anytime you want. And so that's, for me, it's just, I can't not write songs. Well, that's a good question. Most of my songs are happy songs. I'm by and large a happy person. And so
if you've written a song when you're angry, you're not happy for it?
I'm trying to think about writing an angry song. I've written sad songs. Sad songs are good to write. One of the things is that part of my story this year, and part is that I said I'm going to start recording in 2018. I'm 50, the clock's ticking. I'm only going to live to be 100, so I've only got 50 years to write the music I want to write.
Yeah.
So I better get with it. And I always avoided recording because I thought it's just a pain, all the gadgets and everything. But I said I'm going to do it, and you were helping me and getting me started. And you just told me what gear to buy, and I bought it. But right at that same time, I was going through a lot of difficulty, a lot of pain. I was losing my eyesight, my vision, and it was causing emotional depression, things like that. And so suddenly I was in a place that I don't normally find myself, which is being depressed and anxious and things. And writing songs, powerful songs out of that time, was really therapeutic.
So.
That has to be Even If, and Even If is available right now, so you can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp, all those other places.
Yeah. I hear the guitarist on that track is pretty fantastic.
I'm not going to cry talking about this, but this song was so meaningful to me, and it came out of a time of saying with my counselor that I was meeting with. He was saying, can you take situations and go from a position of saying, what if something bad happens, or what if I lose my eyesight, to even if the worst thing happens, I can trust God for my future and for who I am and for my family. And so that even if ended up being the originally hook for that song. And so I was out for a walk on the Vlay, just not far from here, walking, and it was an early spring. Remember we had this nice spring, like back in July?
Yeah.
The flowers were blooming, there was a scent of mountain honey on the wind, and I started just recording into my phone all these ideas. The flowers think it's spring. That song just helped me to express my maybe anger at God, like, why are these things happening, and why aren't you answering? And just provided a perfect outlet for really capturing that moment and looking toward the future.
That Even If, Flip-Flops, Sandy Castle, those are a couple of your songs which have really resonated well with me. Yeah, and I think I've written songs, and I was in a very angry state earlier this year. Mom's cancer diagnosis. There were a lot of things not going right, and I would just go home and sit down in the studio and bang out a song, and a lot of that stuff I haven't released because And I shouldn't say this, but there's, and I'm not a pro advocate for having swearing in your music, but there are one or two things where just being in such a bad state, it came in part of that music. And I had friends who were sitting there and they'd listen to the stuff and be like, Tom, you can't really say some of the stuff. But I look back at those times and just looking at how the Lord kind of brought me through that. And I listen back to this and I can think of the emotions and I can think of and one of the favorite songs that came out at that time, it's called Fair on You, and it's being worked on at the moment, but Fair on You, it just kind of it kind of hit the spot. And it's not the one with swearing, don't worry. That one will never see the light of day. But looking back and just looking at how that was something that was my therapy, was working through that. And like you said, what was going through my mind when I put out the first worship EP last year. Track 3 was recorded and finished a day before I released the EP. And everyone in the band who had been working, they just were very busy and couldn't come through. And I had to sit, and this was even before my mom was diagnosed and all these things. And already then it was a very bad time. And we were chatting with the Uprising guys last night, and I was talking, the thing that was going through my mind at that time, and I was feeling spiritually dry to the point where I was, wanting to give up. And I said, Lord, I don't want to fall away. I don't want to lose my way. I don't know what's going on, but I cannot cope without you, because this is already bad without you. And so, and that song for me is it's probably one of my favorite songs I've ever written. And it's one of the few songs that I've played for my friends that are like, wow, that's
I wish we had more of those wow moments.
Yeah,
the lead singer of 21 Pilots, I was watching an interview with him. What's his name? Josh.
Josh, I think
he's the drummer. Anyhow, that guy, the guy jumps around the strings and everything. Fantastic songwriter. And he said that when he started writing songs, he was able to say things through songs that he couldn't say to his family and those around him just through words. And he was scared, actually, when his songs started coming out, and they accepted him. And it was just like a moment for him where he saw that I can express myself through music, say things that matter to me, and capture a moment through a song in a way that you can't in a conversation or even writing a book or whatever. Just perfectly, the music, the moment, the emotion, the lyrics, and everything all come together to create something really beautiful.